And then just quickly, we're trying to get everything out there, be very clear. So we just laid out some general thoughts on the role of the staff and the role of the action team. So we really see myself and Heather, Monica, the staff, the fund, and the partnership, that our role is to facilitate these meetings, to provide info and context. If you say, hey, some of the research you'll be doing on your own, let's say there's something about the number of trails or something that you want us to get started on, we can be the go-between with CRI to try to aggregate that information. We act as a liaison between all pillars. I think it's important for all of us to stay connected, that we don't become siloed in these groups. So, we may be bringing to you, hey, this is what's going on in the competitive business climate. We may be inviting you to different speaker series that may or may not have something to do with quality of life. We hope that you'll consider coming. We just think it's really important to be as informed as possible. Logistics support, so obviously, location, making sure we've got coffee, materials for the meetings, those types of things. Coordinate communications, so that's not just within the group, supporting the group, but also, as Irene said, taking it out on the road, speaking with as many groups as possible. And then monitoring and reporting the progress of Vision 2020. How is this group doing? How's the entrepreneurship group doing? I mean, we have a responsibility. We've been, the community has really entrusted us with taking this process forward, and we feel it's our responsibility to let the community know how we're doing. Role of the action team. Idea generators. We chose you because you're community leaders, you have great ideas, great passion, clearly, as our exercise indicates. We know that this may feel, and this is a pretty quick timeline. Meet once, ideas second meeting, narrow the meetings to third meeting. I know that seems very forced. So we're gonna work it. We're gonna see how it goes. If we need to kind of extend things or have an extra meeting, that's something that we can consider. At the same time, we know that there are ideas in each one of your heads that you've been thinking about for a very long time. So we're excited to see what you're able to bring to the table. We also know that that's a little challenging. Within a group that you don't really know, we haven't necessarily built the trust in the group dynamics, but we ask you to give us your trust that this is the right, safe environment. What we're hoping to do for the next meeting is to, I don't know if you're familiar, but the new tech high schools, their first couple of days, they spend 2 to 3 days setting ground rules for the school. The students themselves set their own ground rules, how they're going to hold themselves accountable throughout the year. And fortunately, Liz has agreed. We're hoping that we're maybe able to do a ground rule exercise, having the new tech students come in and help us facilitate that session of the next meeting. So we'll see how that works. Community connectors. We hope that, obviously you're bringing in your wealth of your knowledge and network of people. We also hope that you take from this group and communicate to others outside in the community what's going on with Vision 2020. Taking these top ideas and helping to develop the plans. We're here to facilitate, but we are not the knowledge experts or live day in and day out in the quality of life world, and you individuals are. And so we really want what comes out of this to come from you, not from us as the staff. Help us to identify the resources and the champions, benchmark, some of these things we've already touched on. Coordinate implementation. As I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the ones doing it going forward, but you're the champions to help make sure that there's a smooth transition from idea and planning to action. Obviously, it's important to attend as many meetings as possible. We know stuff comes up, but we saw very firsthand from the topical group meetings that the dynamics and the information that came out of those meetings shifted dramatically from one meeting to the next when there was a different set of people that came at each meeting. Because we had to start over, we had to get people caught up, and we really want to make the best use of your time.
Which is why you're being videotaped today. We're going to put this on. We're going to put this on the web to share information with those who maybe weren't able to attend today. If you all have not been.
It's Heather and I are on it right now, so people get to watch us for an hour. The flip camera's in the middle of the room.
Yeah. If you were wondering what that chair is contraption is.
Did you notice the dynamic changed right away?
I know, right? Everybody's just.
And nobody's going to talk for us. Key metrics, we hope that this group collectively brainstorms on the key metrics that we should be tracking moving forward. And then we want the ideas that come out of this group to be presented by the group. If these ideas come from this group, we feel like, I think that will resonate strongly with the coordinating group and the community advisory panel if you're able to identify members of this group who can present those ideas. So just kind of touching again on some kind of team building stuff that we really selected. We feel like those of you in this room exemplify these leadership traits. And we will be touching forth on this going forward. At the next meeting, we'll probably do a little bit of an exercise of trying to figure out, who thinks that they're, what are your top 3, what do you consider your top 3 leadership traits? If we identify in the room that there are a couple of really good problem solvers, then we know that we may need to rely on you if we hit an impasse in discussions moving forward, just to help to continue to educate the group on who is collectively among us. The vetting process, I think, so this is really important. John Stafford has warned us on multiple occasions not to let the tent get too big. That if you try to be all things to all people, the process will collapse. But he has seen that happen multiple times in this community.